Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, or whatever time of day you're listening to this. Welcome back to Dad Tales Podcast. I am Leon, father to Ava who is 7 and Noah who is 5.
And my name's Andy and I'm a dad to 3 girls, Ellie who's 21, Lex who's 15 and Andy who's 8. So together we're going to take a light-hearted look at parenting from a dad's point of view. We hope you enjoy. Leon, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Andy. You well?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. Happy Dad Tales Day.
Happy Dad Tales Day.
Does it feel like Dad Tales Day today?
It does. I've got that warm feeling inside.
That warm, cuddly feeling.
That's right. Only a warm, cuddly feeling that I can give.
Arms around, big squeeze, all that jazz.
All that jazz.
Right, this has took an unfortunate turn already, hasn't it?
It's so starting well here, aren't we?
Okay. How's your week been?
Pretty good, to be honest. Done a bit of painting outside the sheds. I painted my barbecues. My barbecue's ready to rock and roll for the sunshine. So I'm ready for all that. So I've had quite a nice week, really, to be fair. I've had quite a steady week. How's your week been?
It's been all right. Nice and steady. Nothing exciting. Just the usual, but no major dramas, which is a good thing. I got my building done because I know you was excited to know what I'd been building, weren't you?
Yeah, go on, tell the listeners what it is and where they can see it.
So I built a rack for my vinyl. So I have a little corner in the room with a record player and vinyl records. So I built like a wooden rack for it. It's on our TikTok, so you can search us at Dad Tales on TikTok. So it's on there. Have a look. I like it. I think it's pretty cool.
It's really good. And I like the additions to your hands now. You've got all those bandages on them, which looks pretty cool.
And I've only got 8 fingers left now.
Go for that Bo Selector look with a bandage on, like.
The good thing was that's what it was supposed to be in the first place. You know, I said to you last week that it was going to be something, but if it didn't turn out to be like that, I was going to try and pass it off as something else. But actually, this is what it was supposed to be.
Well, when I first saw it, because obviously you can see it, slowly being built, I thought I was building a stool. I reckon you're building a stool and thought, one leg's longer than the other. I'll turn it over and we can stick the records in it. I know your game.
On my review last week, me and Andy reviewed Disney, and she called me out on an Aladdin Disney vote. So we put it to the Instagram population. It was old Aladdin versus new Aladdin. So it was sort of Robin Williams versus Will Smith. And I'm happy to say, and I was even happier to message Andy during the week to say, old Aladdin won 70 to 30% as well.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that it got 30%, to be honest, because if you've seen them both side by side, new one doesn't get anywhere near it. I mean, songs aren't as good. They're all right, but they're not as good as the original.
Do you know what my biggest thing about the newer version was? It just went on for ages. I don't think it needed to go on for that long. It was like 2.5 hours long or something stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching it and I wasn't impressed. Unfortunately, I know I mentioned it last week, but just doesn't stand up to the original, does it? Let's be honest.
No.
Stop doing it, Disney. Stop trying to cash in on the money, because we'll watch it. If they remade loads of things, we'd end up watching them just to see what they're like. So they're going to make money hand over fist, aren't they? But stop ruining the originals. Just write something new.
I'll be honest as well. I've tried to rack my brain this week in finding a good sequel.
To what?
To any film.
A good sequel to any film. Home Alone 2.
That's not better than the original.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, behave yourself.
I quite like the New York one.
It's still not as good as the OG.
Oh, I don't know. I'd say they're very comparable, as in, like, if there was a film on their own, that film doesn't necessarily have to be a sequel, does it? They could have done that one first. There's nothing that, like, I know Marv and that are in it, but they could have easily wrote that as them breaking into the house in whatever.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this. I think this could be an episode on its own. A movie.
What, great sequels?
Yeah, or very average sequels. But this episode, I'm quite excited about this episode, Leon. What do you think?
Yeah, it got me thinking about, I know it's not going to be the same as the superheroes, but it's a very similar sort of thing, as in, like, we can take it anywhere we want here. So the answers can come from all sides. I mean, both my two and me, we've all got 3 completely different answers.
Really? That's interesting.
Like, massively different. Me and the wife are very similar. So I've sort of piggybacked on hers because she took mine and took it a little bit further. So I was like, yeah, you're right, actually. So, which I'll elaborate on.
This is very cloak and dagger stuff. Tell everybody what our topic is this week.
So this week is, if you could wake up with a new skill, what would it be? And you have that skill for life. So it's not just for one day. only. It is for life.
Shall I start off with what the kids said? Andy really likes drawing and painting. So she said she would like to be a bit better at drawing and painting. And yeah, I find a creative side to anybody that wants to be creative, whether it be through, music or art or sculpting or whatever it might be. I think that's a really cool skill to have.
So did you probe any deeper? Because like art can be subject, couldn't it? So is it like Picasso style, very abstract, or is it really good at like portraits, or is it more like scenery, like what's his name, Thingy Ross? Who won't meant Rolf Harris, but what's that Thingy Ross guy?
Jonathan Ross.
No, Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
He used to do sceneries, didn't he? Bob Ross, big afro, and he used to draw the same painting every week to the point where he'd like come on and he'd go, I can tell you what he's going to draw. He's going to draw some sort of mountain range with trees and a river running through it. And he just drew the same thing every week.
Don't know. Must be before my time. You're a little bit older than me.
But Bob Ross is about your era. If I fault, I'm probably out of the loop saying Bob Ross. Because Rolf Harris from my era, but we don't go there.
Can we just call him Bob? Does he have to have two names?
Bob. His name is Bob Ross.
All right, Bob Ross. No, I don't know what you're talking about. No, the only way the discussion sort of led to, the thing is with art is you can see what's a good drawing and maybe what's not a good drawing, but art's all very subjective anyway. So it's all to whoever's looking at it, isn't it? So I think that's the thing, and that's the thing that I sort of tried explaining to her, that, it's the vision really, in it, that you're trying to get across.
Yeah, because I mean, like Picasso stuff. Okay, I ain't got a clue what I'm talking about. But in drawing side, it's not great, is it? It looks like a child's drawing it. Like things are distorted. And things. I know it's abstract and stuff like that, but I don't like, even when the line one, the really famous blue and red lines, isn't it?
Sure.
It's like I know what I'm about anyway. It's got like squares. It's got red, blue, and yellow squares, and it's got like black lines on it. But it looks like year 11 art could have done that. I don't get what makes that so valuable. I get he's a renowned painter, but I don't know. I don't get art. It's so weird.
I mean, I wasn't even a fan of his Citroen.
But a bump. That joke.
Waited about 8 minutes to get that in.
You're a loon. And it's a terrible joke.
Absolutely. So what did yours have?
So I'll start with Noah, and his skill was that no matter what, he'd always score a goal if he took a shot.
Oh, no.
But I was like, man, if that was real, you'd be like a millionaire kid. Every football team would want you. Because what makes a great striker is their shot to goal ratio is quite high. They're quite, obviously, clinical at finishing. If he took a shot no matter what, and it was in back at net, no matter what, Bayek.
That's a pretty cool skill to have. Can you imagine goal bonus on that?
No. But like, when you was a kid, did you ever like dream? I can't think what it was, where you could see things like slow mo. I think it was like a TV show, and everything was like slow mo. And then like if you was a goalkeeper, you'd always like balls coming. I know exactly what it is. You'd always the same. You think, God, I'd be a professional goalkeeper. I could do that. Did you not have that dream when you was a kid?
No, I don't think so.
That was like a reverse to mine then. Because I used to think, oh man, imagine if I could see the ball coming at slow motion. No one would be able to ever score. And he's gone the other way. Imagine if you could always score.
The thing is about that as well, it's from his point of view, he won't really understand like how much footballers earn and what the potential of a club wanting to buy somebody like that would be. So his is all about the enjoyment of that ball. You must think this though, if you ever go to a park or anything like that and you're playing football, even as an adult, when you ping one in net, there's still a sense inside, isn't there, of yes. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. I would challenge any dad out there, whether it be football, rugby, baseball, hockey, whatever sport it is, if you know that you've scored one or kicked one or hit one, basketball through a hoop or whatever it might be, there's a brilliant sense inside. And I would challenge anybody that would say that's not true.
No, I completely agree. The good stuff.
It is the good stuff. So I went on to Lexi. This is where ours, I think, are going to differ very much. So you said that yours were very different. Ours are quite similar. So Lexi went for an aerial or a cool gymnastic move of some sort. And then she said it's so she can flex people. I'm not 100% down on this terminology about flexing people, but I think it's a case of like going, yo, Karen, stop moaning. Boof, backflip.
Nice. Is it a bit like a mic drop then? Like if you flex someone, it's like a mic drop.
Yeah, I think so. So if you're in a supermarket and suddenly somebody's moaning at you, and then you just suddenly flip yourself, in a big 360. Might be
Nice.
will be 360.
180.
If you're
180.
180 and land on your head.
Nah, no. If you want to be facing the other way, if you did a full 360, you'd end up facing back where you started.
Well, that's what you want to do. You don't want to do like a backflip or a front flip and land on your head, do you? That'd be 180.
Oh, I thought you said do a whatever it is and leave. Like I thought even walk away.
Oh, whichever. Yeah, I see what you mean. Which I think, that's the ultimate, isn't it? If you've got somebody, I don't know, a shop assistant or whatever, having a bit of a go at you, and then you just suddenly throw in a big gymnastics move and just walk out there. I don't need this.
Imagine that. Like full vault, like, what just happened? She's gone.
So imagine the scene. You go into McDonald's. Excuse me, sir, can I have a milkshake? Oh no, our milkshake machine's not working. Boom, backflip, out the go.
Yeah. I'd be like, wow, that was impressive. See you later.
You wouldn't know what to do yourself, would you?
No. To be fair, if on a night out, if someone was like hassling you, do you know, like proper like a bit OTT and wanting to start a fight, you just did some sort of backflip, they'd be like, yeah, we'll call it a day and disappear. Do you know what I mean? No one would be starting then, would they? Be like, this guy's got some skills, he's doing flips and stuff. Or you do a flip, they'd see it, and as soon as you land on your feet, off you go.
Yeah. Or like if you could manage to do it and then like get on your bike straight away and just ride off.
Oh, that'd be proper like Evel Knievel stuff. Like, as in, like, instead of doing a jump over, you like did the flip, but like say, landed on your bike and straight into pedal mode.
Yeah.
That's quite impressive, that.
Yeah. Or just did it straight on your skateboard and then just started riding away. You're getting off school bus one day. Just get off the bus, boom, triple back somersault and I'm off.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's where she was going with it anyway. That's how I visioned it.
probably completely different. We just took it to a whole different realm, a boys' version.
Yeah, probably.
So Ava's was to be able to play the flute to a very high standard, just like that.
The flute?
Yeah, so Ava's gone through a very musical stage. So she's all right on the keyboard. She can, play very basic tunes. You're not going to get carried away that she's like some sort of grade 8 thingy. But for Christmas, she asked for a flute, and she's pretty much pestered for quite a while for a flute. So she's got a flute now, and she can make it make a noise because it's quite difficult to actually get the flute to blow properly. But her skill would be that she can just play it straight off because flute is really hard to master. So I was like, it's quite a nice little one there. Very musical. So it still falls in the room of what Andy was saying. Do you know, like art and stuff? I see art and music, very creative things, as in they're a skill that you can't just naturally do. You have to like home in on those skills. Some people can maybe draw or can see how to draw, but you still got to practice, and people don't appreciate how much effort people put into developing that skill.
Yeah, I like anything that's creative, and I think certainly where kids are involved, if they can do, like say, would that be singing, dancing, writing even. I just like that element of growth. I think it's an important part of people's sort of growing mechanisms, really. And really, when we get to our age, it's the one thing that we kind of always go, I wish I'd have been a bit more creative.
Yeah, I wish I'd not stopped playing guitar, because obviously I do miss it now. And obviously, if I picked it up, it'd be like play from scratch. But speaking of playing an instrument, how are you getting on with yours?
It looks really good where it's sat on its little stand. It does look really good. And yeah,
that's pretty much what happened with my guitar. So I played it for GCSE, could play all right, could play bits and bobs, and then it just became a really nice ornament in the corner of my room, and it just stayed there. And I got rid of it because I didn't play it and couldn't bothered. But now I regret it massively. Because imagine if I could just sit home with it on acoustic and just ding 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 ding, just play something nice and steady.
Just sit at home. Just sit at home in Southern America.
Sat on my porch. I was thinking sat on my porch and rocket check going ding 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 ding. And they're like, Noah, get me a beer. Ding 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 ding.
I'll shoot that pesky coyote. Boom.
Oh man.
Oh, where's this going tonight, eh?
Go on then, what was Ellie's?
So Ellie started off with something. She said, this is a difficult one when I asked her. She says something like art, baking, or singing. And then she went into a similar sort of realm as Lexi did. And she used to do gymnastics when she was little. So she was sort of wishing she'd kept that up, being a little braver with it, because, we've seen gymnasts I know you've got friends that are good gymnasts, haven't you? And when you're thinking of sort of somersaults and things like that, you've really have got to be brave with it. So she said a little bit braver with that. She could even have been the next Beth Tweddle. You never know.
Well, that's the thing. It's so easy to actually not realise the talent you've got or not develop that talent, that it just goes. Because anyone who's at any elite level, people think, oh, yeah, there's a raw talent there. There is natural ability, but there's been so much time and effort put into homing that skill and developing that, which is what I try and say to my lot. Like, no jumps on drums every now and then as a whack and a bash about on it. But I'm like, if you really want to get good at it, you need to spend a bit more time on it. You really need to like home that. They say with Ava on the piano, you need to sit and, spend a bit more time. You can't just do it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, like once a week. You've got to be dedicated to doing it regularly.
I think that's the worry of this question, though, isn't it? Is that we're asking them, what skill would they like tomorrow? You wake up tomorrow and suddenly you've got this skill. And it's a little bit like, it's like saying it's a possibility that could happen. You could just wake up tomorrow and be brilliant at something. It's like selling them the dream when it's not going to happen.
Yeah, but the beauty of this, all of ours have said things that they can actually achieve if they put the time and effort in. If Noah practices shooting a lot and actually does a lot of skill, he's not going to be able to get to the point where he scores every time, but he can hone his skill to be a very good attacking footballer shooting. Ava the same. If she picks up the dedication and puts a bit of effort in, she can fluently play the flute. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but it's not as if they're saying, I want to be able to fly. Do you know what I mean? I want the skill that I can do. They're actually choosing. Same with Andy. Wants to be a really good artist. Well, have a go, practice, do some practice. If you want to do portraits, you need to start with drawing the damage to the face with the circles and stuff. And, just get the fundamentals right. And the same with Lexi, go back to gymnastics, things like that. They're all achievable things. None of us have chose something that we can't do without a bit of effort.
That's a really good point, that, though, as well, because maybe this is a question that all parents should be asking their children at around sort of 5-6 years old, when they've gained an interest in something, to say, look, if you could wake up tomorrow and find anything that you could be good at, what would it be? And then that's it then, isn't it? Then you're exactly right, from sort of 5, 6, 7, 8 year old to go, if you really want to be good at this, this is the time and effort you need to put into it.
Yeah, because in the theory that 10,000 hours makes you prolific at something. So if you try and do some 10,000 hours, that makes you, it's like an inbuilt mechanism in it. That I know practice doesn't make perfect. It's correct practice makes perfect. So, but it's all about learning, developing, and pushing the boundaries of keeping that skill going. Because my biggest downside is I am very good at a lot of sports. I can put my hand to most sports and I can hold my own at doing quite a lot of things. I mean, you might agree or disagree, but
I definitely disagree.
But for me, if I'd have actually chose one and maybe homed in on it, maybe I missed my talent chance, because I was too broad at what I did. I did so many different things that sometimes one maybe hindered the other one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but then again, is the whole thing about childhood development, trying all different things,
trying to find different things.
It's a difficult balance, isn't it? It's a difficult argument either way to say, right, yeah, let's pick one thing and be really good at that, or actually, let's play lots of different things. Let's have an attempt at, many different activities, and then find out what you really enjoy doing and have the experiences of different things. I don't really know which side of the fence to sit on.
There will be an element of natural ability, like natural talent that's there, but 9 times out of 10 people give up too easy because it doesn't come natural to them, and that natural maybe has to develop a little bit. If you're quite small, I don't know, you have a growth spurt, but if you've been practicing that skill and as you build into your growth spurt and your body develops, it might become easier, because you've already done all the fundamentals and all the preparation for it. Then you should just accelerate into it. I don't know. It's what I'm saying sounds good in my head, but I don't know if it's actually right.
Yeah, I think the problem being from our two's history, we're thinking very much sport-wise, aren't we?
Yeah.
There's a lot of other things out there that people can attempt to do, whether it be, whatever it might be. You partook in this question. Then, what was your skill?
Yeah, I did. So I said I want to be able to speak Spanish. So I wake up tomorrow and I can speak Spanish. I'm quite fluent in it. Now I've tried speaking Spanish in the past. I've done a bit of practice, but same again, I've not really put enough time and effort into it to actually be able to do it. So I can't sit there and go, yeah, it's not coming natural to me. It's actually, I'm not trying hard enough. I pick up a few phrases. I mean, I've tried to join me before. I can say a couple of phrases and stuff like that, but I wouldn't mind being able to be quite fluent in it and thinking. But then Amy said, what hers, what she would like to be, it's not fluent in all languages, but have an ability that after having a conversation with somebody, she then picks that language up. So say she was talking to someone Italian, she'd have a good conversation, but after a couple of days, then that language comes natural to her. So no matter where she is, after a few days, she just picks it up. Like she's very linguistic, and you can pick up all the different languages as you go. Not necessarily one language, but you're quite linguistic across the board.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, when I was asking Ellie about it, she moved then on to languages, and Spanish was what she said she'd like to learn, because it's probably an area that we will travel to a bit. And obviously, if you're thinking sort of in like Southern America, places speaking a lot of Spanish, but Amy's exactly right. That'd be awesome. That one, it just the communication in people, and let's be fair, British people are fairly ignorant to this, aren't they? And I'll fully hold my hands up. And when I go abroad, I don't try as much as I should. I shout and point, and I get embarrassed by it. And I'm embarrassed by my own behaviour, not that I can't do it.
Yeah, I tell you what I have found though. Sometimes, like, if you try to speak theirs, they'll naturally revert. So when I'm doing Spanish and stuff, they'll naturally revert back to speaking to you in English, because I don't know, maybe me, but absolutely butcher the Spanish language, whereas they don't butcher the English language. They have a good comprehensive of to speak English. So like we're like, wow, it's quite good. I can understand you. You're quite good at English. Whereas I think when because trying to speak Spanish or whatever, there's that many different dialects and stuff. They're like, what? There's only been one time that I spoke Spanish and they understood me, and they started speaking Spanish back to me, and I pat myself and was like, oh no, I'm actually English. Stop.
How could they have possibly mistaken you for a Spaniard? You don't look anything sort of Spanish.
Can you remember that time I did that when we was in Barcelona airport? And asked for those coffees.
You must have just bowled them over completely with your tone and texture.
Oh, it was quite sun-kissed. We had top down, hadn't we, all the way? So I was looking pretty good, looking pretty fly. Go on then. What was yours then? You partake, yeah.
So, well, yeah, it's not really something that I thought about an awful lot, but I went with dancing, singing, remembering names, not being sarcastic all the time, patience, reading music, making money, being able to lick my elbow, listen to the radio without shouting at it, judge people on social media, peeing in public, do as I'm told, not crying at TV programs, sleep for 8 hours a day, making good decisions, following through with things that I start, being able to fix a car, or maybe just playing piano, something like that.
I like it. He's from like a personality transplant. So what you should have said is, I don't want to be me.
Pretty much, yeah. I'll be honest, I settled on being able to do a backflip.
Do a backflip? Once again?
No, I know what you're going to say. This is not once again. This is something that you can do. Not at all. I've got to a certain age now where there is absolutely no chance I'm going to be able to do a backflip.
Stop being a baby. You could do a backflip. I'm telling you right now. You might lose some teeth and break a couple of pairs of glasses, but we can get you doing a backflip.
Are you going to hold me?
At such a new way. Social distancing. We're coming near you.
You're using that as too much of an excuse nowadays.
Yeah, but like I say, you could do a backflip. You give yourself no, because you couldn't play. You didn't put in time for ukulele, so no, you're not going to be able to do a backflip. Take that back.
I could do one into swimming pool, but that's only 180, isn't it? I still can't get the 360 in. I'm weighted too far to the front at the moment.
Nice. I can remember at school once, was in like the big hall, and I was in like detention. There was like 3 of us, and it was like we had to stand like in 3 corners of the hall. One at year 11s came through, and he went, "What are you guys up to?" And was like, "Well, we're in detention, we've got to stay here." And he went, and just did a backflip, and then carried on walking, and that's always stuck with me. And I was like, "Oh, that was class."
That's exactly what I mean. You're in the middle of somewhere and just absolutely throw out a big backflip. If you're in the middle of a city centre and there's some animosity between people and you just sort of walk into the middle of it, throw a big backflip in, and then people will just spread and go, whoa, what just happened then? You just completely broke it down.
To be fair, it's always stuck me when he did it, because I was like, wow. that year 11's cool, and I'm a naughty boy in detention in sports hall.
But you got to learn how to play chess.
I did, yeah. To be fair, that's a good little skill. I wouldn't mind being better at chess, but once again,
you can't have everything. This was one skill. But speaking of chess was our review a couple of weeks ago. You've done this week's review, haven't you? What was this week's review on?
So this week's review is that good old thing, Lego.
Oh man, I love Lego.
Yeah, we love a bit of Lego in the house. The thing I love about Lego, and I know it's designed to this way, is you can just do whatever you want. You don't have to. My two, they'll be like, I need the instructions. I'm like, you don't know the instructions. Back in my day, you got like a packet of Lego, didn't you? You didn't really get anything like now. There's so many kits. When we was kids, you didn't get like that, did you? You got like a couple of wheels.
Back in our day, it's not like in our day it was like building Stonehenge.
No, but you know what I mean? Like kits started coming out, I don't know, when I was like 14, 15. Yeah? No?
I always remember building kits, but I know what you're saying. If you got a box of Lego, everybody had like a box of Lego in the house, didn't they? And I find it fascinating when Andy just gets that box of Lego and will just build something. And it's the imagination stuff. You know, we said about, you know, the creative side of what we was talking about earlier on. And I just think if you come to me with this thing that's multicolored, it's got different pieces, it's got one wing longer than the other wing, and you come and tell me it's an aeroplane, absolutely fantastic, because I know in your head that is an aeroplane and it looks exactly like what I would think like a Boeing 747 would look like. And I just think that's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I used to love building like houses, and once again, like multicolored houses. I used to have like a green sheet plate and like a big box of Lego, and I'd try and do the brick effect, but obviously I had pieces that were like 8 long, 6 long, but I'd put my windows in, put my door in, and I even had like red tiles, like red roof tiles. Did you ever have them as a kid?
I don't remember the roof tiles, but I do remember building houses. Yeah, it was the go.
Yeah, I used to have like these little roof tiles. It was class.
But like I say, you'd build a car and you'd have 3 wheels the same, and then you'd have the fourth wheel was like, you know,
massive.
6 times bigger than the other ones. But
yeah.
It worked, didn't it? It was just
And as well, I went on to, do you know, Connect? Did you ever get onto Connect stuff?
No, I moved on to
Meccano.
Yeah, so I moved on to Meccano, and I remember having a car transporter. So you built the lorry, you built a trailer, and it had a car that went on it. And honestly, it had like a little steering wheel on the top, and you could drive it forward, you could reverse it backwards. Oh, that was like the next level. I would be happy to play with that stuff now.
Yeah, well, I got Noah some Meccano for Christmas last year, I think it was. And obviously, in hindsight, it's a great thing because I completely underestimated how difficult it is. You know, the little nuts and little bolts and stuff. It was far too fiddly for him. But we got to revisit that Meccano because he's probably now about the right age to start messing with a bit of Meccano. But we got the Connects, and I was like, oh, I used to love Connects.
Yeah, it's the one thing I think, certainly from childhood, that has just really stood the test of time with me. I just think I know it's moved on within it, how it's built and how it's developed and stuff. But man, Lego as a product is awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean the girls Lego as well. Ava's got as well. Ava's got like girls sets, like, you know, it's called like Summit and Friends, and it's all like pamper shops and things like that. So like Ava's got her Lego, Noah's got like some boy ones like Transformers and stuff like that.
Do you know the only sort of downside about Lego is that, you know, when you're building it with them and you are building a model, you're building something that grows into something, you're following instructions. How many times do you kind of just go, right, now stop, you just go over there while I build this?
Yeah,
it's supposed to be a father and child challenge or bit of fun to do together. And yeah, 9 times out of 10, I'm taking over and I'm pushing them to one side, going, "Now this is my game."
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the exact same. I'd say also right invention with Lego, that piece that allows you to take Lego pieces to pieces.
Yeah,
so
I know what you mean. The lever.
Yeah, the orange lever thing, because I used to like bite them apart like that and pull them apart with my teeth and stuff. But yeah, what an invention that is. A tool for prying Lego pieces apart.
Right, let's listen to this review then. Are you hitting the button?
I'll let you hit the button, I'll treat you.
Is it my win this week to hit the button?
I don't really, Matt. I'm treating you, mate. I'm nice.
Wow, you're so kind. It's a different button this week.
Right then, guys. So this week, what we're going to be talking about?
Lego.
So we like Lego, don't we?
Yeah.
So who's going to go first and tell us about Lego?
Me.
Ava, go on then, Ava. Right, so Ava, I want you to tell us why you like Lego. Let's start there.
I like Lego because you can be creative and make what you like, or you can follow instructions if you choose.
Okay, that's fine. So why do you like Lego, Noah?
Because have fun and do whatever you want
Okay,
with Lego.
yeah. So what sets have we got then? Has anyone got any different types of Lego sets? Ava, you go first then.
I've got one with a castle with a slide. I've got a farm. I've got like a little picnic one. I've got a school one.
So what makes them so good then? Why do you like them so much?
Well, because when I've built them, because the school one actually has a board, and seats and people, so I can actually like pretend that they're learning. And the picnic one, there's also birds, so that my character can eat and feed the birds.
So not only do you like the building of the sets, but then you play with them after, so you don't just break them back
By
up.
the way, the picnic one has a hot dog.
There's a hot dog, okay. What sets have you got, Noah, that you like then, and why do you like them? Those sets?
I like a transform one where you build like a one, and then you connect all those ones that you've built together, and it makes a big transformer.
Oh, nice. So what are the little ones then that come together? What type of vehicles are they then?
Well, there's an aeroplane,
Yeah,
some cars,
yeah.
another aeroplane.
Yeah.
No, that's an helicopter,
Okay, yeah, helicopter one in there.
and then that's it.
Yeah, so like one of them's an arm, one's a leg, one's a body, and you put them all together, don't you?
And there's a chest, which I think is a big cattle truck.
Yeah,
There's a head.
there is a head in there, yeah.
Oh, I've just remembered something. At school, we're doing the Iron Man, and his Transformers. His chest is as big as a cattle truck, and I think he made a cattle truck for the chest.
Oh, so
With his
that's where Lego got the idea from Iron Man. I don't know. Okay. So what other sets have we got then that we like playing with? Go on, no?
I got like a police one.
A police one?
I've also got a Batman one.
Oh, Batman one, yeah.
A Batman vehicle.
A Batmobile. The Batmobile, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I've also got like an Iron Man inside like a big, like iron giant.
Ah,
Yeah.
super. So the good thing as well is, so because you've got a set, you can then mix those sets together to make like something completely different if you want, can't you? Have you done that with any of your sets? Have you taken your farm, your picnic, and your school and pushed them together to make a different thing?
Well, once I made the castle with the slide, and then I added like the farm part with the horse and the carrots.
So you could have more fun and make it a bit more different.
Yeah, and then with the picnic and the school, there came a bike and a van. So I'm gonna like put them together like they was having a picnic, and then they had to go to school.
Oh, nice. That's good. What age is Lego for then? What age?
Like I would say 2 and under is not. For,
2 and under is not appropriate for 2 and under.
I would say 3 and under.
3 and under, you think? So you got to be over 3 to play with Lego.
Yeah, I mean,
Can
because
people who are the 70-year-olds, can they play with Lego?
yeah, if they want.
If they want. Do you reckon 70-year-olds play with Lego? Do your grandma and granddad play with Lego?
Yeah,
Do they?
I guess.
You could. Yeah. Why not under 3s then? Why can't under 3s play with Lego?
Because they might choke on it. Like depend if they're really young, like 3 or 2 or 1 or even 0, then they could choke on it because they don't quite know what Lego is.
Oh, good.
It looks like sweets.
We don't want that, do we? No. So if anyone's under 3, they've got to play with an adult, we're saying that. They have some adult supervision.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if it's like 2 and 3, you need now adult supervision. But 2, 1, 0, they probably just
Can't play with it really, can they? I suppose it's a bit hard to push them together sometimes, isn't it? Because you get different pieces.
It's babies, yeah, and then it's hard to take them apart.
Yeah.
But luckily we've got that thing where you shove the end of it in and it takes the Lego off.
Yeah, the orange thing. Best invention in the world.
Yeah, but it's also, but one of the ends has like a Lego piece that you can click Lego on.
Yeah.
So you might actually be able to build something with it.
Have to try that, won't we?
Like you could do a human on it because we have two. So you could do a human like that ice skating. I think that might.
Skiing, you mean?
I think that might be a bit hard. Sledding even.
Out of 5, how many stars are you giving Lego?
5.
You're giving it 5 stars. 5 stars. Why 5 stars?
Well, because you can be creative and I like creative.
Okay, that's good reason. 5. You're giving it a 5 star.
Yeah. Why?
Why 5 stars?
Because I really like Lego because you can do whatever you want with it.
That is good, isn't it? Yeah. We like playing Lego as a family, don't we?
Yeah.
Right then, so I think that's enough for Lego this week. Thanks for your review, guys.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
What do you think to the review? Review then, Andy.
As always, mate, I love Noah and Ava's reviews. They're just we said right at the beginning of this, Dad Tales is that metaphorical hug that just makes you feel warm inside. Whereas when I listen to Noah and Ava's review, it just makes me giggle. I like them. They're just so honest. And we've just said, I love Lego. I think it's awesome. They clearly love Lego. And it's a toy as well that obviously because of the different stages of Lego or Meccano, or what's the one that you can get ones with little like spanners and stuff like that, can't you, that you build, and you can continue all the way through sort of to teens and beyond. And yeah, I love it, mate. Yeah.
Well, like you say, Lego stood the test of time, hasn't it? Because they now do things for adults. I mean, they've got adult Lego sets. I mean,
I tell you what would be good is if people could share their Lego pictures with it. Anything that you've built, Lego, Meccano, Lego and Friends, anything like that, put it on your own personal Instagram and then just tag us in it. That would be good, because I love seeing other people's built stuff as well.
I can feel a Lego off coming here. Me versus you, the best thing built.
Oh, a Lego off. What? Best thing built as well that's not, that we have to invent ourselves?
Yeah, and then we'll put it on and see. We'll put who's who's, and we'll put it on and see if people can like judge which is the best.
I'm well up for this challenge. Are we doing this next week?
Yeah, we can have it ready for next week's episode if you want.
Oh man, I'm so excited about this. So excited.
Yeah, so you can't follow a pattern or anything like that. It's just a free build of something.
Right, I'm up for it. I don't need sleep this week.
Oh mate, I'm thinking about what I can build.
Brilliant.
Forget the podcast. We'll stop right now. I'm just going to build some Lego.
Right. Speaking of this week, Leon, what have you learned this week?
I've learned that there's no point saving paints for the following year because it's a load of rubbish when you come to get it out again. So I paint my barbecue every year and I paint my sheds. I try to change the colour of sheds every so often. But I thought, I had a big tub, so I thought, I'm going to save the paint, get it out, give it a good shake. You meant to shake your pin up. You meant to store your tin upside down as well, so it keep it last longer. Got the paint out, and it was like watery, browny. It'd gone all weird. It was meant to be like blue, and it'd gone like a rusty colour. I was like, what has gone on? So I had to go buy fresh paint. So what I've learned is I ain't saving paint anymore. I'm just getting rid of it. There's no point.
Right. I know sometimes, though, that you'll be out in garden, you'll get caught short, you'll need a pee, can't get in house. Are you just going and like dropping stuff in your paint cans?
Maybe. I don't know what happened to it, but it was all rusty and all manky. So I had to go buy some fresh paint. So, I mean, the beauty is I've changed the colour of my garden. Not literally the colour of my garden, but I've changed the colour of the sheds. And I've bought some fresh white paint for the barbecue.
Painted your grass blue?
Yeah. Oh, mate, I want fake grass, though. looking at my grass today thinking, oh, I want some fake grass.
No, I think this is a dad thing. I think fake grass is something that cheats by. I think as a dad thing, you need to go out there and start treating your grass nicely. And then you've got the satisfaction then of saying, do you know what? I've got a lovely trimmed lawn.
See, before I had the tortoise, my lawn was amazing because I could like put like evergreen down. I could like, proper sort out, put like fresh seed and stuff like constantly. But because I've got the tortoise, I've got to be really careful what I put on the grass because obviously she eats all the like the dandelions and stuff that come through the grass. So if I do anything to kill them, obviously I'm running the risk of if anything's underneath the soil like that and anything fresh comes, it could poison it. So like since then, my lawn is just it's not great like it used to be. So I was thinking, oh, I might go fake grass. But then again, now I've said it out loud, I don't know if it'd be any good for tortoise, so maybe I can't.
Just start taking your tortoise to the park and walk them around park.
On a lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So happy days. So yeah, my garden, said it again. My sheds and all that are a different colour because the paint I saved last year, which has been taking up space in my shed, which has been really annoying because I trip over the cans, they're in the way. Gone to get them out, thinking I was doing a good thing, and what's the point?
So what we should do really is encourage people to pass them on, not to sell them, just pass them on. That'd be a good thing.
Yeah.
Half a tin of paint left. Just put it on your social media, say, anybody want this paint? And hopefully, that's about paying it forward, like we've always said. And then hopefully somebody will say, right, I've got some blue, Leon. Do you want this blue? Yeah, thank you. I'll paint my grass blue.
Do you want some paint, mate?
I'd like some grass to start with.
What you learned this week then, anyway?
Well, the first thing I've learned is that you're supposed to store your tins of paint upside down. I didn't even know that.
Well, that's what I've been told. I mean, don't quote me on that. Out there, am I right in saying you meant to turn them upside down to store them? I don't know what the reason is, but I don't know. I've always been told. Maybe that's why it's rusty because I've turned it upside down. I don't know. But
well,
yeah.
I've never turned my paint upside down and I've never had rusty paint.
Yeah, to be fair, I say it happened before. I don't really know, but it happened this time. It's all weird colour. I shook it and everything, give it a really good shake because I thought it's because I hadn't shook it properly. Do you know what sediment set at bottom? Give it a really good shake and it was all, and it smelled like
urine,
like damp. It smelled like poo.
I thought you just stirred it.
No, you shake it. I don't know. I don't know, Andy. My paint was absolutely green crackers.
I would stir paint. I would get like a stick and I would stir it, or like an old screwdriver.
I'd get a stick and I'd stir the paint.
I think this
surely shaking is the same thing. Surely shaking is the same thing.
No, because you wouldn't shake your pasta, would you? In your dish, you'd give it a stir.
In my lunchbox, I give it a good shake.
This may possibly be the most boring conversation we've ever had. Yeah, at some point, somebody here will be switching off, going, what are these guys on about? As if you shake paint, you stir it. I mean, that's definitely next week's Instagram poll.
I'm going to say that's a poll started for this week. Do you shake or stir? Right,
so I've learned this week that don't always do something that you've always done, especially when it don't work.
Oh, we got to elaborate on that. What have you been doing that's not worked?
Is that not what the relevance of stupidity is? If you do the same thing constantly and it still don't work. There's a phrase out there, isn't there, by, I don't know, somebody about doing, you never learn, do you? Just by doing the same. Basically, so I wash my duvet, I put it on my washing line, and I always sort of peg it right at the top and then double it under, and then double peg it. Do you see where I am so far with this?
Yeah.
Where then, as it's blowing in the wind, one of the pegs will fly off. And before you know it, it's suddenly dragging on garden floor. So it gets dirty, so you have to rewash it. So what I've done this week, and I don't know why I didn't think of this before, is that I just put it over the washing line, like as if it was in half, as if I was sort of making like a tent. And then just peg it at the top. It's nowhere near the floor. Pegs aren't going to fly off. It's not going to touch anything. And you only need to. Why is that only something that at this stage in my life I've only just realised?
See, that's how I used to peg washing out. till I got told off, and that's not how you peg a sheet out. You was pegging it out right, and how to peg a sheet out. I used to just fold over the top that can't blow away. I pegged it securely, but I've been beaten into doing it the way that you do it. Fold it in half and peg it from the top so then the wind can blow through it.
Oh, no.
So you're right.
I was doing it the first way you was doing it. So I fold it right over the top. So basically half's hanging down one side, half's hanging down the other. And then I just peg it at the top. So that was the way you was doing it. That's not the original way I was doing it.
I know you were doing it in half and then pegging both halves up, weren't you?
I tell a lie. This is now the most boring conversation we've ever had. Basically, don't always do something the same way when it's clearly not working.
Yeah, definitely not.
Right, let's move on quickly.
Very quickly.
Very quickly. Right, so I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody that got involved in our Instagram this week, everybody that's messaged us on Twitter, on Facebook, and just going back to what we was discussing earlier about things that you'd like to do. We had a couple of comments. I've picked a couple of comments out. So one from Hannah Underwood is that her daughter Chloe wants to be able to ride her bike without stabilizers. What a fantastic little skill that would be if you could just wake up and do that. I often feel like when you're riding a bike, or certainly with my kids, how it happened is it just sort of happens.
Yeah.
You sort of go through the process of learning, holding the seat, one stabilizer, loosening them up, and then it just happens. I don't know how. It's a little bit magic.
With Ava, she went through the stabilizers and then off she went. Like you say, it was the whole like holding the back of the seat. Now with Noah, we got him a balance bike, and because he was on a balance bike and he's like sort of keeping his balance and stuff, the hardest thing for him was actually getting his feet to pedal. Once he cracked the pedal in, because he was already in a balance bike, it was okay with that. So he never had stabilizers, didn't know her. It was just trying to teach him to actually pedal because to keep the balance on the balance bike. So my recommendation and tip is get a kid on a balance bike and they're away.
Yeah, nice one. Nice one. And our other comment that I've picked out is from Wines_2U. And they said hindsight would be a great skill. Now, I'm not sure hindsight is is that something that's a skill?
I think it's a skill because the hindsight is that your skill would be that you're not going to do something that then would mean, oh, in hindsight, I wish I hadn't done that. So the skill would be that you know you're going to do something that you shouldn't, or you're going to regret. So therefore, the skill is that you don't do it.
Yeah, I can certainly see that point.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah. So that's this week. Thank you for everybody that's been in contact this week. It's fantastic. It's lovely to hear people's opinions and people's points of view. And that's what we want, everybody to get involved. You can message us on any of our social medias, have a follow. We have got little bits and that going on TikTok. And once we get to a point where we can get out there and we can be together, even social distancing, we'll put loads of other stuff on there. So if there's other things that people want to see us do, then let's get it done. Next week's topic, Lil, what we're discussing.
Next week, we are talking about school transitions and mixing to other schools.
Yeah, so how kids move from one school to another, mixing in and out of schools, all that jazz. Schools is a general topic, and we'll put it all in. So again, if anybody wants to join in, message us, and with your stories, let's get involved.
Yeah, even if someone's got like a funny story about when they remember they went to big school or obviously changed schools, and any funny stories that came from those sort of things, or even any trauma that came from those things, like the first day jitters and stuff like that. I remember it being a bit of a daunting thing.
Heads flush down toilets and things.
Oh, we don't want that sort of thing. We don't encourage that.
No, definitely not. The interesting thing there is you've just started off that topic by saying big school. I mean, that's a topic in itself, isn't it? What do you call your next school?
It's big school.
What if it's a small school though, in like a small town that's not necessarily big?
Big boy school. That's what it is. I'm off to big boy school. I've got my big boy braces on. I'm going.
With big boy pants.
Yeah.
Right, I think that's it. Let's call it a wrap there, because there's probably two people left listening. I think one of them's me and one of them's you.
Probably.
Let's all do this again next week.
Yeah, let's do it next week.
Have a great week, mate. Keep yourself smiling and be happy.
Stay safe, mate. Have a good one.
Thank you for listening right to the end of this week's podcast, and we hope that you've enjoyed it. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at dad_tales_, or get involved by emailing us at dadtales@outlook.com. You can also now join our Facebook page by searching Dad Tales.
Keep the feedback coming. We are genuinely humbled by all the input and the comments you are providing us. Stay safe, celebrate small victories, and keep smiling.